I come to the garden alone while the dew is still on the roses. And the voice I hear falling on my ears, the Son of God discloses. And he walks with me and he talks with me and he tells me I am his own. And the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. Here's my patty pan squash. And it's been a lot of questions about this squash since I let you guys know that I had saved the seeds by freezing them for over 10 years. I've got a lot of questions and I tried to answer them the best of my ability. And I thought that I will share with you another seed that I've been saving and had them frozen for 5 years. And that is my butternut squash. Let me take it out of the package. Let's put them right here so you can see. They look a little dehydrated. And as I told you guys, the germination rate may not be as high as new seeds, but freezing seeds works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant some of these butternut squash, put one here, and I'm not going to cover it up so I can see where they are first. One here, one here. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6. And since this is the vining type, I'll go ahead and plant more, and I'm gonna have to build a structure to house or accommodate, come on, to accommodate the squash. So I'm gonna put one here and one right there. So that means I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'll pick up these few seeds and I will plant them someplace else because I don't think I should freeze them again. Okay, so I'm gonna put these right down here with the ginger. Now, we know that squash has a very pungent smell, and the squash bugs and squash vine borders can find them based upon their smell, their scent. So what I'm going to do here is, at home with Cheryl gave me some clove-scented basil. And I'm going to see if I can disguise the scent a little bit by putting a few of these seeds. Not a lot of them, but it's enough. Okay, so I'm going to put the phone down and I'm going to sprinkle some of this basil all around these seeds and then cover it up. Rule, if the seeds are so tiny you can hardly see them, you don't have to cover them up with soil. So all I'm going to cover up is the squash seeds in this elevated raised garden bed. And I'm going to have to come up with a trellis, because unlike the patty pan squash, this butternut squash is not bush. It's a vining type. Okay, so we're going to get more rain today, and I'll just let Mother Nature do her thing. And I'll come back in a few days and let you see how the squash is doing. In the meantime, let's walk over to where the, what am I trying to say? Oh, yeah, Minnesota midget cantaloupe and the sugar baby watermelons. Let's go over there and see what's happening. The other day I told you guys I was hoping one would come up over here, and it did. So I'm pleased. That's the cantaloupe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 out of 8 seeds germinating is not bad. Over here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 8. I don't know what this is. Oh, it must be a seed. Yeah, just grew up so tall. I think all of these germinated. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, 100% germination rate. And since I'm out here, even though my hands is dirty, I'm gonna pick me some blackberries, take them in the house, wash them off for breakfast. And these aren't blackberries, these are black mulberries. And they are super sweet. These berries remind me of my childhood. There was a park we would go to in Indiana, and it had a lot of wild mulberry bushes. And when I eat these, it brings me back to that time when I was young and carefree. Didn't have a worry in the world. These are excellent for breakfast. This is what a ladybug larvae look like, if you didn't know. Yeah, pretty soon it will turn into a ladybug. And that is why I don't use chemical pesticides, insecticides in my food forest. I try to keep it as organic as I can to encourage beneficial insects and them multiplying. This cucumber looks like a good size, so I'm gonna go ahead and harvest it, especially since I see another one growing up the trellis. So a lot of times when you harvest, you encourage new growth. Okay, so that's what I'm doing today. Did you know that cucumbers are 90% water, and they can actually dissolve kidney stones? And since I have that problem frequently, I eat a lot of cucumbers. Cucumbers are also known to lower your blood pressure, fight cancer, and other illnesses. Grow some cucumbers, everybody. Might be, whoa, squash bugs. Oh my God. Y'all see this? I've got to put this down. These are squash bugs. It's one under my thumb and one here on the edge. And I got to kill it. So, this is what they look like. Squash bugs. I got to relocate them fast before they jump off. I am pretty certain those are squash bugs. I smashed them. They don't stink. But that's a squash bug. There's 2 of them. One here and one here. And these are all the beautiful tomatoes I just harvested. This is the tomato plant. As you can see, it has a lot of blooms still on here, but I'm ready to take this out. Get this ready for something else. But I guess I'll just prune it up real good, take the yellowing out, and keep the plant for another month. I wanted to rest this bed, but there's still tomatoes growing. Y'all know I'm gonna do what I want, but here's a good tomato. I need to. I got it. I didn't have any nippers with me. Just that's what I get for coming out without my jacket on. Yeah. And so there's a California Wonder bell pepper. Look what I just did. I can't believe I did that. I tore the whole thing. Oh well, no one's perfect. I'll be careful with the jalapeno peppers. Let me put this over here. And you're probably saying, why don't you just go and get her some nippers? That's because it's getting ready to rain. And I'm just gonna take these off real quick. There's 3 beautiful peppers. 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna make some cowboy candy. I have a video on that in my playlist in canning if you want to check it out. I started growing the seeds in August, and they produced very well for me all winter long. It was a lot of work keeping the greenhouse heated, but it was so worth it, and I would do it again. One of the ways that you know you have aphids on your fruit tree is because the leaves will start curling, where the aphids will suck all the life out of it. See those little white flecks? Those are aphids. Another way you can tell is you'll see ants crawling all over the leaves because they eat the liquid that they secrete, the honeydew type of liquid. I don't spray with anything but water. I just sprayed these trees the other day. So I'm going to get my water hose, even though it's getting ready to rain. I'm going to blast these aphids to kingdom come. I'll be right back. White butterfly moths, they're actually off-white. That is what lays the aphid eggs. And they will always choose delicate, new, tender leaves. They don't mess with the old ones. Check it out the next time you see some. I'm telling you from my experience, they don't mess with the old ones, the old leaves. They like the new, fresh, tender leaves. They're easier to attack and to eat. So I'm going to put this down, and I'm going to blast these off real good. Okay, guys, it's Friday morning. I'm out in the greenhouse. And after thinking about it, I decided to let this mushroom basket humongous one tomato plant continue to grow. And the reason why I decided that is because after today, we're going to have temperatures in the 90s every day for the next 7 days. That's the forecast. And thank goodness no rain. We received a lot of rain over the last few weeks. So I'm going to let this plant grow. But when I showed you guys that I captured 2 squash bugs, remember this, when you see 1 or 2, there are more. So I have my mixture of pure cold pressed neem oil and a little dish soap, and I'm gonna spray this plant very well. Now I know I'm taking a risk because anytime you use any type of oil during temperatures above 85 degrees, might get some burn. But know this plant has a lot of blooms on it, but it's not going to produce any more blooms once the temperature reaches 85 degrees. So I'm just going to try to maintain and continue to grow what's already on here. And I'm just going to spray this plant real well, especially where I harvested the tomatoes and saw those squash bugs. Ideally, you can spray early in the morning or when the sun goes down and then rinse it off. So this is what I'm doing now. It's very early. It's not even 8 o'clock. I'm gonna spray this baby real good. All of the soil down here. I'm gonna pull the branches back and get in all the nooks and crannies. So this is a indeterminate tomato plant, which means that it's only gonna grow for a little bit longer, and because it's been growing since the fall of last year. And so I'm gonna see if I can get the tomatoes like right here that's already ripening on the vine and growing. I'm gonna see if I can get these to grow. That's my main thing I'm trying to do. And while I'm here, I might as well go ahead on and hit this pepper plant. So I told you guys, my experience has taught me that if you don't grow squash, squash bugs still gotta eat. They're gonna find something to eat. Would you like to see something pretty? There's my society garlic ballooning. Now I want to share this with you guys. The kids and I, my grand angels, finished this bed last weekend. You can see where we put the cement blocks around it. We added more soil. Those containers, this one and this one, has my saffron that will come back next year. And you see a lot of, let me go closer. You see a lot of plums down there on the ground that fell from this tree. Oh, I hope I didn't make you dizzy. Let me go back. Okay, so it's growing in this container, but I'm gonna have this container put in the ground a little further back, about right there, and then we will be able to align or straighten up these concrete blocks a little better. We just did what we had to do to keep the soil from eroding, because this is a low area in my yard that, you know, it took me years to build up. So I just wanted to share with you that the apple trees are now coming out of dormancy really well. And this is the last one. Let me see if I can get over here so you can get a better look. Nope, I'll go around. This apple tree is slower to leaf out than the other. Both of them are Stark Brothers. This one is a Golden Delicious, and I think that one is a Crimson Crisp. Stark Brother brand. But I put society garlic that I had in containers all around this bed. Eventually, I'm gonna keep propagating it. It's gonna be society garlic all over here. This area in my food forest was real low, and I had a half a load of wood chips dumped right here, and just slowly it decomposed, and now it's built the area up. Okay, we've had a lot of windstorms, so I've got a lot of fence pieces down, and I got several estimates for someone to repair it, or a company to repair it, and the cheapest estimate was $500. So you know what I did? I went to Home Depot website after calling my brother and him telling me, Cheryl, you could do that yourself. Just get you some 1.5-inch nails. So I ordered some, and I went and picked them up by curbside delivery. And I'm gonna do a little bit every day, guys, because I am not gonna pay someone $500 to patch up my fence if I can do it myself. Now let me step back and show you the Texas Star hibiscus, how well it's doing. Look at there. So I'm 5'4". I guess it's about 4.5, 5 feet now. The mint is coming back alive, and you guys see the transplants. Let me show you how tall they're getting, because I showed you in another video when I put them in here. And all those little bitty plants you see down there, those are Texas Star hibiscus as well. Some of them I probably will scoop up and put them someplace else in the food forest, because it's going to take over this bed. Well, I don't care. I really made this bed for the Texas Star hibiscus and mint. Okay? So, getting back to the fence, let me just pan around and let you see from an angle that I never hardly video. I truly, truly have a food forest. And every time I come out here, guys, I just feel so blessed. This is the Fuyu persimmon. And I think this is going to be a good year, because I see flowers and the beginning of the persimmons all over this tree. I think it's going to be a phenomenal year. So, yeah, I got to harvest some peppers today. Got a lot of them. And As my community post stated, I'm kind of changing the format of my videos because it's really hard for me to group everything together, one subject matter, and then have to edit a video. I just decided that I'm going to do it like a blog style. And so you're going to get a little mixture of this and that in all my videos from here on out. And this is part of the mimosa tree that I showed you guys in a short video. I'm just so excited how it is blooming for the first time. I'm going to take a bungee cord and pull this branch right here up close to tie them in all together here, like I did where that green bungee cord is, so that it won't shade out my Asian pear tree. And as you can see here, flowers are coming up. I just scattered a whole lot of seeds and say what will be, what will be. And the echinacea cone flowers came back, I think this is about the 4th year in a row, beautifully. And I didn't have enough time in my schedule to get this comfrey here, and here in the ground. So what I'm going to do is probably break the containers or try to get them out of the containers as best as I can and plant them kind of high. I'm not going to dig a lot of holes. I'll plant them kind of high because they're going to go down in the ground anyway, and they have a long taproot. And just try to take care of this weekend. So what was I saying? Oh, let me sit down here. I was saying the banana plant is adjusting. I was saying, oh, we're going to have echinacea real soon. Man, I just get overwhelmed. I'll probably edit some of this out because I'm rambling. But I just want you to know that if you're not a content creator, it takes a lot of memory on your phone, on your computers to make these videos. And when I try to group it together in certain files, it's real complicated and it's hard for me to do. I'm not that savvy with making videos. So I just decided that I would do it blog style, and that way I don't have to worry about that. Just know that you're going to get a mixture of a lot of different information when you click on one of my videos. I hope I said something or showed you something that will inspire you or motivate you, because we know that inflation has existed since the beginning of time. When I was a little girl, potato chips was 5 cents a bag. Snicker bars and Hershey bars were 5 cents, and they were larger than the bars that you see today. Okay? When I was a young lady, cigarettes was 39 cents a package, and a gallon of gas was 39 cents. So there's always going to be inflation. Prices are always going to go up. But what you have to do is just learn that you can grow your own food and have your own groceries in your backyard. Okay? And then prep. Don't panic. Prep and put up food. Can, freeze, dehydrate. And you won't ever have to worry about inflation, because you're going to save a lot of money. Okay, let me show you this. Elderberry flowers. This is what they look like. For those of you that I sent cuttings from my bushes, this is what it looks like. Then it's going to spring forth a big bouquet of white flowers. And then those white flowers will turn into berries. It's so exciting. I just fall in love with everything that I'm growing every time I come out to my food forest, which is all the time, because I'm in and out the food forest all day long. Look at that patty pan squash. I can harvest this today. Let me show you. Let me step back. See, Let you see how big it is. I can have that for lunch. Blackberries. We'll be getting those soon. Okay, guys. You know I love you. And God loves you too. Until the next video, grow your own and eat your own. And preserve those groceries. Make it a better Thanks for watching. Bye now. For you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me.